Brad, what did you say to the team in there after the game?
Probably spoke about the fact that we've been down this road before. We're making the game too difficult for ourselves and too easy for the opposition. So, that second half there, we're at 50% completion. So that's as bad as it gets at this level, I think. And, you get what you deserve. So we certainly did in that half. And, Tweed were just ticking around 80% completions and doing everything we said we were going to do. We've got to learn our lessons again. I feel like this team, we're going to take some dips every now and then, unfortunately. But, I'm a bit disappointed in that. I felt like, we'd learned a few lessons previous weeks and know what works for us. But we went back to throwing the ball around a bit too much and taking too many risks.
14-0 up and given away a few penalties, but hadn't dropped the ball in from about the final 6 minutes or so. 3 drop balls and stuff, and let them back into the game. They scored against you with 12 men. It makes it difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And the one thing we identified about Tweed was defensively they hadn't been going great, a bit like us, but attack-wise they got a lot of points in them. And over half their tries for the year have come from 0 and 10 attacking opposition try line. So we knew they're going to be potent when they get down there, but. We came up with too many errors and gave them too many opportunities, and they're a classy team. And when we create fatigue in ourselves the way we did by dropping the ball so much, again we got what we deserved.
What would you expect? 24 unanswered points in that second half. What would be the focus for you guys this week?
Oh, look, to be honest, defensively we were bad, but you're always going to be bad under fatigue. That's what you're patient for with the football. That's why you grind and get your kicks and, play the percentage game. And we never once earned that. They earned that whole second half. So, I feel like 50% of the ball in that second half there, like we did in the first half, they get a bit of fatigue, we get some opportunities. So, it's not rocket science. It's really obvious where we went wrong. And again, like I said, we've been down this path before, so we've got to learn our lessons all over again.
As a coach, is it a pain that you've got to keep relearning these lessons? I can't just learn them once and keep going.
Yeah, it is. Look, but we got very few experienced players in this team. I think you could probably count on 2 fingers how many errors we got from our experienced players. It's the young blokes that are probably 0 and 5 or 0 and 10 games at this level that it probably just got to be a little bit smarter, and learn that you've got to be patient and earn your shots at this level, and we just didn't do it. So we didn't deserve to win.
How big an impact was it losing Denver there in that second half and they have to reshuffle the back line?
Yeah, I think psychologically had an effect. We didn't deal with the adversity too well, I don't think, and we got great players, and Fallon Peters who moved out one and played out of position, and Harrison McIndoe onto the wing as well. So, I felt like that side held their end down defensively quite well.
They
but
were on the other side, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah. So, it plays a part when you have to shuffle your lineup up a little bit, but again, doesn't mean we have to drop the ball 5 times out of 10.
On a positive thing, right towards the start of the game, there was Cooper made a good break, and Laz followed up, got the offload, went within a whisker of scoring. I think it was held up. That was pretty to watch, wasn't it? 2 big blokes just busting it up.
Mate, it was really pretty to watch. In that first half, if you go back to it, probably the first 35 minutes, we just kept it really simple. We were patient. We got to a kick. We turned them around, and it's again, I keep coming back to that word, but fatigue, create some fatigue in the opposition, and they couldn't wait to have their next run by the end of the game. They were just running through us. So because we didn't create that.
Okay.
Who you got next?
So we got another bye. So 4 byes in 12 weeks. So going good. And then we got Mackay at home in 2 weeks' time. So hopefully we can get some sessions on the field. Hopefully the weather's a bit kinder to us, and we can get the work done. But Mackay at home. So it'd be nice to. That's only 1 from 3 at home so far. So it'd be nice to hit back.
What do you learn for that one from today?
Oh, a little bit of the same, Pat. Like I was saying, is we made things difficult for ourselves. So get your percentages up. Create some fatigue in the opposition, make them do some work, make them do 50% of the tackles, and you create more points that way.
Anything else?
No, we're good.